Hello YouTube and welcome back to Let's Play Dungeon Defenders. In this episode we're going to the Servant Quarters, which is one of my least favorite. It's not really that bad, but it's just really big and spread out, which is really difficult for some people, including me. And another thing to note real quick is that normally before all these chests would give you 40 mana, but now they're giving you 70. So that's nice. Now, I'm actually going to place that a little farther back. But first, Magic Blockade, step back a little bit, and then Fireball Tower. Because obviously there's a door right there. And you don't have to worry about these enemies coming down like this side to attack this tower. They really don't ever do that unless the tower is actually attacking them. So this is actually probably a poor mana management because I'm just spending a whole bunch by using that that technique, I guess. Because that was already 200 mana that I spent, and I've only got 80 now, and there's only 70 more in the field because of the treasure chest. So now that's going to give me 150. Yeah, 150. Yes. So I'll only have enough to do that full Fireball Tower plus, actually now that I think about that, that really was a bad idea. Yeah, oh well. I'll see how this goes. Okay, so I'm going to put another Magic Blockade here. This is probably not a good idea to do, because now there's 3 doors that I don't have any defenses on. So I'm actually going to use a Magic Missile Blockade, not Magic Missile Blockade, Magic Missile Tower. Let's place this one here to get those 3 enemies. And then I'm actually going to have to defend these other 2 doors by myself, which thankfully, as you can tell, there's 2 crystals now, and thankfully both of these doors are going after the same crystal, so I don't need to worry too much. And of course, my weapon does a lot of poison damage, and this guy's a poison type, so I'm not doing much damage. Alright, now just come back down here, focus on these enemies, and actually it doesn't do that much damage at all, so that's not good. My crystal's probably going to get attacked by the archers, because they like to stop an attack from a distance, because that's what archers do. And let's see if I can actually defend against it. And actually, I think that archer was going to attack the other crystal. I've never actually seen them do that because I usually have my defenses good enough. So obviously, if they attack the crystal, it's not the end of the game or anything. It's just if they actually destroy the crystal, which it does take quite a few enemies, or at least one enemy for quite a long time to actually destroy the crystal. But don't let that make you think that attacking it is okay. Alright, so now for this door, instead of using a Magic Blockade, which probably is still a better idea than what I'm about to do, is actually going to use a Lightning Tower. And I will eventually put a Lightning Tower by that Magic Missile Tower, and then probably replace the Magic Missile Tower with a Fireball Tower. But anyways, I'm going to use the Lightning Tower there. That way I've got fire and electricity types of attack going on right there, so that even if they're a fire type, the electric tower will get them. If they're an electric type, the fire tower will get them. If they're anything else, both of them will get them. Alright, now I'm going to do a similar thing here. The lightning tower kind of off to the side, so that the enemies won't just be shooting it from a distance. And then I'm going to go get enough mana for Fireball Tower and do the same thing. Now here is fine because there's only a few enemies, and it's got the Magic Blockade to make sure that they don't have any elemental affinity. And then just bring that back a little bit and put the Fireball Tower there. Now the Lightning Tower, it can shoot around corners, which is why I put it off to the side, so that it's not in the way of danger, but it can still kill all the enemies. And as you can see, the rest of my towers did pretty good defending everything else. And unless I'm mistaken, I'm pretty sure the goblins were already at level 2 on the first wave, so, you know, now that's just their normal standard base level. Now I've pretty much got everything secure. Like, I've got all the entrances defended, and I've still only used like about half of my defense units. So actually, wow, it's pretty bad. But they just kind of walked by my defense. Come on. Just get rid of these guys on my own, and then not that. Use a lightning tower. So I probably should have done that beforehand. And I think the second wave on this level is actually easier than the first, just because all the enemies come out at once, rather than having a few of them come out first and then wait a little while and then some more of them come out, as you've seen happen in the past. So the second wave always feels really short. Alright, which of course I'm not really complaining about, because it's always nice to get these things over quickly. Now I don't know exactly how much more I need to defend all the other sides, because really, like I said, everything's defended pretty well. Nothing's really been getting through, just the ones where I didn't have any defenses, and that magic missile tower that I just reinforced with electricity and fire. And I actually don't want to put an electric tower right here, because then that'll attract the attention of those guys. So I'm going to come around to this side and place it right here, which may not be the best place for it, because then it kind of is in their range, but then the fireball tower also has a pretty good range, so it should be able to defend itself, I guess, or defend the fireball tower. Alright, so now I've got 3 more defense units, and I think I'm just going to use that as a magic missile tower right here, just because this side, this little door, tends to give me the most trouble whenever I play this level. And now I basically just get to sit back and watch. Now there's a Dark Elf Mage that comes through here, and it always used to give me trouble because I would never really use the lightning tower, and clearly that just got rid of it really quick. But I would usually end up placing my defenses here and just shooting down that corridor, but because of what I was talking about earlier, last level, the mage would send its skeleton minion, and the skeleton minion would stand here and get destroyed, but the actual mage would be standing like way back here, so it wouldn't actually get hurt. And then it would resurrect its skeleton minion, it would take like 2 steps and then get destroyed, and then the mage would just cause problems by staying back here and not dying. And of course I think that was when I was using magic missile towers, or maybe a fireball blockade, or fireball tower, not blockade. So obviously by focusing my attention here, the mage isn't going anywhere, and the electric towers, or lightning towers, are actually going to be doing a lot more damage. And making sure that that mage doesn't do what I just explained. Alright, now this side can actually get a bit dangerous. I'm actually just going to start the wave once I level up. Alright, I'm just going to start the wave because I'm sure my defenses are good enough, and they don't really seem hurt at all, and nothing really got through. But right here it's pretty dangerous, because although their first instinct will be to walk over here, come down the staircase and go this way, because there's boxes in the way, which I think was pretty smart level design. The only problem is that here, these picnic table things, the enemies can walk on them. So occasionally, if there's like a big mass of them, then they'll get kind of stuck, and then some of them will just go off to the side and walk around your defenses, which is pretty dangerous. It's a little difficult, I guess, to defend against, but having the lightning tower and the fireball tower make sure that I'm just getting everyone. So there's not really much of a chance of them massing up and then just walking away, because the fireball tower has splash damage to get big groups of enemies, and the chain lightning obviously works well against groups of enemies as well. Alright, so that's that area. Another thing that I don't like is that this isn't a very good map for DPS characters, or characters that focus on their actual hero attack rather than their defenses, because everything is so spread out and it's over different layers and everything that it's really difficult for one character to defend 2 doors to really be useful, except for right here, because the enemies from that side will come through here and then go that way. So if you put the defenses here just to block them in, and then let these enemies come down this way, maybe block them in right here, then one attack hero could just stand in this little area and get through all the enemies. Now, something else I should mention is that now the enemies, or the goblins, are at level 2, so they're red, which obviously makes them have more health, I think run a little bit faster, and then attack a little bit more, or do a little more damage with their attacks. But obviously my defenses are well enough prepared, so they're good. And I've already mentioned earlier about this little side with the lightning tower. And then here, sometimes you can put the defenses back here, just to give them a little bit more room. But it's really not necessary because there's enough room right here for your towers to destroy them. And it makes the wave end a little bit quicker to give you a little bit more experience if you place it closer to the door. But obviously not too close because you need to give them room to actually come out of the door. Alright, so I leveled up twice in that level. That's nice. And I should probably get some boots, some shoes, just to fill up my defenses. I mean my armor. Yeah, that's definitely better. Alright. So that's it for this episode. Obviously there wasn't any ogres or anything, but that's why just that final wave had a lot more enemies and the enemies were a lot stronger, sort of to make up for not having any ogres. Alright, that's it for this episode. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.